Give me 12 minutes. 12 minutes of your time, your focus, your soul. 12 minutes where you forget about distractions, where you silence the noise, where you listen not just with your ears, but with your will. Because the truth is this: most people are asleep with their eyes open. They scroll, they drift, they wait. They mistake movement for progress and convenience for purpose. They live by default, not by design. But you're here, listening, which means something inside you is still awake. Maybe it's faint. Maybe it's buried under years of doubt, mediocrity, or fear, but it's there. The fire, the hunger, the part of you that refuses to die quietly. That part is rare. Only 3 out of 100 protect it. The rest, they trade it for comfort, for distractions, for the illusion of time. They don't realize they're running out of it. But you're not most people. You're one decision away, one commitment from stepping into the 3%. And it starts right here, because success isn't an accident. It's a pattern, a code, a rhythm. And once you learn to hear that rhythm, once you align your thoughts and actions with it, the world bends. Carnegie heard it when others heard doubt. So did Ford, who was told the V8 was impossible. Wright brothers, Edison, Disney, they all had one thing in common. They weren't smarter, they weren't born lucky, they simply did what most people won't do. They believed before the evidence. They worked before the applause. They persisted after failure. They moved with the conviction that life does not reward the hesitant. It crowns the bold. You can read all the books, watch all the videos, listen to all the gurus, but if you don't decide that you will change, nothing will change. The world doesn't care about your potential. It responds to your patterns, your rituals, your behavior when no one is watching. That's what separates winners from the herd. Let me be clear, there's no magic pill, there's no shortcut that replaces the grind, but there is a formula, and it starts here with the mind. Your mind is not a container, it's a creator. Whatever you feed it, it multiplies. Feed it doubt, and it will build a prison around you. Feed it belief, and it will move mountains. 97% of people wake up each morning reacting to alarms, to emails, to moods, to news. Their mind is a slave to circumstance, but the 3%, they command their mind. They wake up with intention. They build their day like a general builds a strategy, with precision, focus, and non-negotiable rituals. If you want to win, you must learn to master yourself before you try to master your world. That means discipline when it's inconvenient, silence when the world is loud, belief when doubt knocks at your door like a storm. You will never rise above the story you tell yourself, so tell a better one. You are not a product of your past, you are a product of your decisions. And every moment you hesitate to step forward, someone else is. And they will take the life that could have been yours. This world is not waiting for you. It will move with or without you. But if you align your thoughts, your actions, your purpose, the universe bends. Not because you're lucky, because you're ready. Every great transformation begins with one bold thought: I can. Not someday, not maybe, now. The world you see is only a reflection of the world you've imagined. And most never change their lives because they never change their thoughts. But you are not most people. You are here. You are listening. You are choosing to seed your mind with power instead of fear, clarity instead of confusion, direction instead of doubt. That alone separates you from the masses, because the masses react. But leaders respond. They do not beg for circumstances, they create them. You don't need more time, you need more decision. Hill said, successful people make decisions quickly and firmly. Failures never make up their minds. So tonight you decide to no longer live beneath your potential, to no longer chase comfort, to no longer speak words of limitation to yourself in secret. Because the secret to life is what you say when no one is watching. It's the thoughts you repeat when you're alone. It's the story you tell yourself before sleep. And if you do not rewrite that story with intention, it will repeat itself forever. This is your moment to rewrite it, to affirm with full conviction, I was born to do something great. I have everything I need to begin. There is nothing outside of me more powerful than what lives inside me. No more hesitation, no more waiting for signs. The signs will follow the steps. The evidence will follow the belief. The world will bend to the force of your will when your will stops bending to the world. Even in rest, you are creating. Even in silence, your thoughts echo into the future. So train your inner voice to speak only strength. I already possess the power. I already possess the mindset. I already possess the ability to direct my life, no matter what has happened in the past. Because the past is a lesson, not a sentence. The past is a stepping stone, not a cage. Nothing that happened before this moment has the right to define what comes next unless you give it permission. And you won't. Tonight you take it all back. Your authority, your belief, your identity. Hill wrote, "You become what you think about." So what are you becoming? Are you becoming stronger in your mind, more disciplined in your actions, more aligned with your purpose? Good. Then you are becoming dangerous to fear, unreachable by doubt, untouchable by mediocrity. The seed is planted. Water it with repetition. Feed it with emotion, and soon the harvest will arrive. Your thoughts do not sleep. Long after the body rests, the mind keeps building, and what it builds, whether peace or chaos, strength or fear, is entirely determined by what you feed it before the silence. So tonight, as the world fades, you return to the source of power, your mind, your belief, your invisible workshop, where all success is first imagined before it is ever made real. You are not drifting. You are creating. Every thought you hold is shaping your future. Every word you whisper to yourself is a command to the subconscious. And what you consistently command, you will eventually live. This is no fantasy. This is the very philosophy that lifted men from poverty to power. This is the foundation upon which empires were quietly constructed. One idea, one burning desire at a time. Andrew Carnegie believed in it so fully, he entrusted Napoleon Hill to reveal it to the world. And Hill did, not through guesswork, but through decades of study, reflection, and application. The result? A blueprint, not for mere wealth, but for mastery of the self. And mastery begins in stillness. In these quiet hours, when the world retreats, your soul is most awake. Now is the time to remind yourself you are not a product of your past. You are a master of thought, and through the repetition of that truth, it will become law. Close your eyes and hear this. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. This is not poetry. This is cause and effect. This is the engine behind invention, behind fortune, behind greatness. What you allow yourself to imagine deeply, vividly, emotionally begins to take shape in the unseen realm. Thomas Edison saw light long before the world did. He conceived it, he believed it, he acted with faith, and the darkness surrendered. You hold that same power right now in this stillness. Your only enemy is doubt. Doubt is the destroyer, the thief. It does not scream, it whispers, it questions, it delays. But you are not the doubter, you are the decider. Let your mind repeat this truth. I will never quit because I was not born to be average. Not one soul Hill ever interviewed, Carnegie, Schwab, Ford, Edison, Rockefeller, reached greatness without first believing in the unseen. They trained their minds to reject limitation. They reprogrammed their subconscious through relentless repetition. They understood that faith is not a feeling, it is a practice. And practice happens now, here in the dark, where there are no distractions, where you are alone with your breath, your heartbeat, and your vision. You are not falling asleep, you are rising from within. Clarity is the first weapon. You cannot hit a target you cannot see, and yet most people stumble through life with fogged up vision, chasing shadows, following crowds, obeying the script they never wrote. They chase money without a mission. They chase validation without values, and in the end, they lose both. If you want to be part of the 3%, you must become obsessed, not with results, but with direction. Ask yourself, not what do I want today, but what must I build for the next 10 years? What legacy must I carve with my life? Not what job pays the most, but what work awakens me. Because when your vision is clear, decisions become easy. Distractions lose their power. Time becomes a weapon, not a burden. And you move through life with the force of a man or woman on a mission. Henry Ford didn't ask what was possible. He asked what was necessary. Lincoln didn't ask for approval. He asked what was right. Walt Disney was laughed out of multiple studios, fired for lacking imagination, and yet he imagined a world that didn't exist and built it anyway. That's the kind of clarity the 3% live with. Not a clarity based on what's safe, but on what's necessary. Necessary for their purpose, necessary for their calling, necessary for the man or woman they were born to become. But clarity means nothing without action. Ideas are cheap. Everyone has them. Execution is the currency of success. And here's where 97% fail again. They wait for motivation. They wait until they feel ready. They confuse emotion with commitment. They pray for the mood instead of training the muscle. Discipline is not about how you feel. It's about who you decide to be, over and over and over again. When it's boring, when it's hard, when it's lonely, when no one claps, that's the forge where winners are made. Motivation whispers, discipline commands, and that's what separates those who wish from those who win. You think Carnegie felt like getting up every morning and building empires? You think Edison smiled every time he failed? You think champions enjoy every workout, every early morning, every sacrifice? No, but they made a decision that their dream was non-negotiable, that their future demanded more from them than comfort, that their family, their legacy, their soul was worth it. So they acted daily, with intensity, with strategy, with belief. They didn't ask for permission. They commanded results by becoming the kind of person who gets them. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. And who you are is revealed by what you do when no one is watching. If you woke up tomorrow and lived one day with absolute intention, if you controlled your thoughts, your habits, your time, your focus, you'd be unrecognizable in a year. You'd be unstoppable in 5. But it starts with today, with this moment, this decision, because there is no perfect timing. There is only alignment. The moment your thoughts, words, and actions point in the same direction. When you align, you don't need to be the smartest. You don't need the perfect plan. You just need to move, and the world will begin to move with you.